Hugo, the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff, one of the kind of big rugby arenas, full house there is always probably something every rugby player wants to do. 2 years ago when you played there, it was an empty stadium. Would this weekend in front of a packed Millennium Stadium playing a test match, is that a kind of a bucket list item?
I suppose it's certainly a big challenge, isn't it? It's going to be a bit different from the last time an empty stadium there. I've been to a match or two in the Millennium Stadium, and I think everyone's aware of the atmosphere, especially when the roof's closed, that can be generated by their fans and the away fans. So I think it's an exciting place to go, and I think we're all looking forward to that challenge.
What games were you at there? How old were you?
I was at the Ireland-Argentina game in the World Cup, unfortunately, and the night before that France-New Zealand game as well. So got to
them. Party looking around going, God, I wonder someday will I be able to do it here?
No, I didn't think at the time. Definitely not. I think I was probably in the sub academy, playing with UCD. Not even Irish under-20s at that stage, so it was a long time away in my mind.
This is your third full Six Nations campaign now. I know you played the tail end of the 2020 season, but how much do you think the team in general has developed from when you came in October 2020?
We've been coming together nicely. I think building like a lot of experience. I suppose when I first came in, it was also the first time the likes of Caelan, Ronan Kelleher, and a new batch of lads were coming in with new coaches as well. So we've learnt a lot through a lot of ups and downs along the way. But we're a pretty close group, and it's such a competitive one as well, with new and fresh faces coming in each camp, pushing for places.
How do you go about preparing for a team like Wales that have had such change over the last couple of months?
I suppose the nature of it being the first game, a lot of it's focusing on ourselves, worrying about what we can control and getting up to speed again with everything. I think that's why coming over here, being together sort of 24/7 for a week's a great opportunity for us just to get back up to speed. And like Wales, it's always such a challenge. Like we haven't won there for a few years now. It's a real tough place to go. We're not underestimating the challenge and how important that first game will be for us.
And just finally then, for the campaign as a whole, you've had a triple crown, you've got a series win in New Zealand, but how much of a next step for the team would it be to get your hands on like a full championship success? Yeah,
that's what we're definitely all chasing. I've never experienced it. I know some of the lads have in that 2018 side, and I suppose we're all pretty determined to do it again. And I think it's obviously taking it one game at a time, though, isn't it? It's worrying about this Wales game, because you have to control what you're able to.
Hugo, teams come a long way, as you say. Does it need to win a championship now?
I suppose that's the challenge. That's the goal. That's the goal the coaches are setting. We're setting for ourselves. That's what we're definitely going to be aiming for. And I think we've the capabilities too. So it's just about performing individually and collectively now.
I think Andy Farrell said that his feeling after the autumn was that there would be some honest feedback. Was the phrase he used before you guys got together. Can you give us a sense of what that feedback was and what happened in the autumn?
Yeah, I don't think we probably performed to our best of our ability over those 3 games. I know it was still such a successful campaign with 3 wins, but I don't think we quite clicked in a lot of the areas. Obviously, great beating South Africa, but then we probably slipped down in our standards against Fiji, and probably wasn't the most polished performance against Australia there. So there's a lot of learnings we've taken from the autumn, and I think to go and compete in the Six Nations, and if we're talking about winning the championship and going over to Wales and beating them in their home turf, we're going to have to be a lot better than what we were in the autumn.
The word grow is used all the time by Andy and by the leaders in the team whenever they speak to the media, and all you guys. Does what happened back in 2019, and you weren't around obviously then, does it hang over the Irish national rugby team And is that why the focus is on constantly improving, even though, as you are, we're a number one ranked team right now?
Like, I don't think so. I think people who were part of that squad in 2019 definitely use it as extra motivation to bring it into, I suppose, this next year, bring it into this Six Nations as that extra bit of fuel. And I don't think you can dwell on it too much. I don't think you can think about it too much or add any more pressure, because it's just about performing to our potential and knowing what we can do in a group here together and just worrying about that.
And in that growing, what do you need to add in the Six Nations to get better than what you already are as a team?
There's lots of small areas. I know Australia, personally, from a back three perspective, probably dominated us in the air. I think Wales can be a quite pragmatic team, so they'll probably go there earlier. So that's an area of the game our little mini units focusing on, and I'm sure all the different mini units have different things that they're going to be trying to improve and focusing on over the last 10 days and leading into the Wales game now.
Just finally for me then, the other thing that guys around the team and the coaches talk about is the environment. And how positive environment they're trying to create. What does that actually mean? Maybe explain to maybe people watching, fans of the team, kind of want to understand, what does that actually mean for you guys within the camp, and what is that positive environment look like?
I suppose it's a lot of player ownership. It's player led. We've got a great leadership group, and I think there's a shared responsibility throughout the team now, and I think the coaches have acted as facilitators in that regard. I think we've got a good balance of, I suppose, working hard when we're on it, but also enjoying our time off and enjoying each other's company and really getting to know each other well, so that we can connect better off the field, but more importantly on it as well. So yeah, a few factors to it, but hopefully that'll give you a bit of an insight.
Hugo, over the years when you were watching Ireland when you were a young cub, they tended to be underdogs. In recent years, Ireland tend to win the most tournaments now as favourites. Do you enjoy that tie?
I don't, to be honest, look at it or think about it. I suppose going over to Wales, like, it's going to be such a tough game. Obviously, haven't won there in a good few years. I think the lads have been talking about how hard of a place it is to go, how loud it can be. So we're definitely not getting comfortable or seeing ourselves in that regard.
You'll play the scar tissue of some of the older guys then? How much does the Leinster factor help? Because every year you guys are talked up as well. Is that something that you can kind of bring into the national setup?
I suppose what's good in that regard is that there's a huge crossover with the amount of players. So I'd like to think we have that bit of cohesion coming from Leinster into Ireland, and I'd like to think that's a bit of a point of difference for us. That I suppose, yeah, we're building connections with guys from different provinces, but people are slotting in seamlessly, and we've already grown those over the last few years, whether here with Ireland or with Leinster, bringing it into this campaign.
A lot of people at home will look at this and go, the guys are out in the sun enjoying themselves, but in terms of the challenge of getting up to speed, how big is the last week, the last few days running into this game to try and put the finishing touches in place?
Yeah, like it's a test week, and they're always intense, always tough training sessions, always a lot of detail to get over. So unfortunately, it's definitely no holiday here. So we've had a really productive couple of days here, and it's a big end to the week now for us. We've got one more proper tough training session tomorrow, and I think that'll just finalise all the little details and the last few learning points from sessions, and taking it in so that we're feeling good come Saturday.